Ever wonder how, like, one family's vision could reshape how we consume news and entertainment?
Yeah.
Today, we're diving into the world of News Corp,
Big one.
a company that's touched, like, nearly every corner of the media landscape.
I think what's fascinating is how many of us interact with their businesses without even realizing it.
Right.
I mean, of course, you have the big names like the Wall Street Journal and the Fox Network.
Yeah.
But they also own things like Realtor.com
Realtor.com.
and HarperCollins Publish.
It's a true global giant.
Yeah,
And
that is.
their reach is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
So how did they build this empire?
It's a good question.
Right.
It all started with a legacy of war reporting.
Oh, wow.
Rupert Murdoch's father, Keith,
Okay.
was a prominent journalist who covered World War I.
Wow.
And that experience
Yeah.
deeply shaped his views
Oh, wow.
on the power of the press.
Okay.
And he passed those views down to his son, to Rupert.
And Rupert certainly took that idea and ran with it.
Oh, yeah.
He inherited a small Australian newspaper business. And
He had big ambitions.
fueled by a relentless ambition,
From the start.
transformed it into the media behemoth we see today.
Yeah, his strategy was bold.
Right.
I mean, he wasn't content with just running a few papers.
Right.
He wanted ownership.
Yeah.
He wanted scale.
Yeah.
And he was willing to take big risks, often taking on massive debt
Wow.
to acquire papers in new markets.
There were some nail-biting moments in those early days.
I bet.
The company came close to bankruptcy more than once.
Oh, I'm sure he had this knack
Yeah.
for spotting opportunities.
Yeah.
He understood that newspapers could be vehicles for both information and entertainment,
Okay.
and he often acquired a prestigious paper alongside a tabloid in the same market,
Oh, that's interesting.
allowing him to influence both the elite and the masses.
It's a classic example of capturing multiple segments of the audience.
Absolutely. You have the serious broadsheet
Right.
shaping the opinions of those in power,
Right.
and the sensational tabloid captivating the everyday reader.
Yeah.
It was a brilliant,
Right.
if somewhat controversial, approach.
Speaking of controversy,
Oh, yeah.
those tabloids definitely knew how to generate buzz.
Oh, they did.
Sensationalism, gossip, celebrity scandals.
All of it.
All of it.
Drove circulation and ad revenue,
Yeah.
but it also drew criticism.
And not to mention their foray into television,
Oh, yeah.
which completely shook up the industry.
Launching the Fox network in the U.S. was a pivotal moment.
Yeah.
They challenged the established giants like ABC,
Right.
CBS, NBC,
Yeah.
and they gave News Corp a powerful platform to broadcast their own content.
And that paved the way for their expansion into cable and film
Yeah.
with the acquisition of 20th Century Fox.
It's a testament to their ability to adapt and evolve with the times. They saw the potential of these emerging platforms and weren't afraid to make bold moves to secure their position in the market.
They went on a buying spree,
They did.
scooping up Dow Jones,
Wow.
which publishes the Wall Street Journal, HarperCollins for their book publishing arm,
Yeah.
and even dabbled in the early days of the internet with MySpace,
Oh, yeah.
though that one didn't quite pan out,
That one didn't quite work out.
as they'd hoped.
Yeah, the rise of the internet forced a reckoning for many traditional media companies.
I bet.
And News Corp was no exception.
Right.
They had to rethink their entire approach.
They had some early wins in the digital space, particularly with digital real estate services like Realtor.com
Yeah.
and financial data platforms.
Right.
But the transition from print to digital
Yeah.
and broadcasting to streaming was a constant uphill battle.
It was a period of immense change.
I bet.
And they had to learn quickly to stay afloat.
So today, News Corp is a truly diversified media conglomerate.
It is.
They operate across several key segments.
Yeah, you have news media, which includes brands like The Sun and The Times in the UK, Dow Jones with its financial news powerhouse, The Wall Street Journal, book publishing through HarperCollins,
Yep.
digital real estate with Realtor.com, and subscription video services like Foxtel in Australia.
That diversification helps explain their resilience.
Yeah,
They've weathered many storms,
they have.
but their journey hasn't been without its share of controversy.
One of the biggest, of course, was the 2011 phone hacking scandal.
Oh, yeah.
Involving their UK tabloid News of the World. It led to the paper's closure,
Yeah.
sparked public outrage, and resulted in numerous legal battles.
Wow.
The scandal raised serious questions about journalistic ethics and the company's culture.
It was a major blow to their reputation,
It was.
and it cast a long shadow over the company. But even beyond that specific incident,
Yeah.
they've faced ongoing accusations of political bias.
Their close ties to political figures, particularly those aligned with right-leaning populist agendas,
Yeah.
have fueled concerns about their influence on public discourse.
Right.
And whether their news outlets prioritize ideology over factual reporting.
It sparked debates about media responsibility and the role of powerful media companies in shaping public opinion.
These ethical considerations have plagued News Corp for years.
Right.
And they continue to be a source of tension and scrutiny.
And let's not forget the financial challenges. They've grappled with debt crises and had to restructure multiple times,
Yeah.
including a major split in 2012.
That split divided the company into two separate entities.
Right.
One for news and publishing, the other for entertainment.
Yeah.
It was partly a strategic move to protect their entertainment assets from the fallout of the phone hacking scandal.
Right.
But it also reflects the challenges of managing such a vast and complex portfolio
Yeah.
in an ever-changing media environment.
And then there are the internal cultural issues and the question of succession.
News Corp has been criticized for its workplace culture,
Right.
particularly regarding allegations of sexism, and the Murdoch family's tight control over the company.
Right.
With Rupert passing the reins to his son Lachlan, has raised eyebrows.
Some view it as a family dynasty struggling to adapt to the modern media landscape.
Yeah, that dynamic adds another layer of complexity to the story of News Corp.
It does.
And as they continue to evolve,
Yeah.
these internal challenges will likely play a significant role
Yeah.
in shaping their future trajectory.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
One area where they're really pushing the envelope is with artificial intelligence.
AI.
They see AI as a way to create new revenue streams
Okay.
and adapt to the rapidly evolving media landscape.
AI-powered news creation. To be honest, it sounds a little unsettling.
Yeah.
Like something out of a sci-fi movie where robots are taking over the world.
It might sound futuristic, but it's already happening.
News Corp is using AI systems to generate news stories
Wow.
for some of their local outlets in Australia.
Okay.
It's particularly prevalent in areas where they've had to make job cuts, leaving gaps in coverage.
So algorithms are writing the news now.
In some cases, yeah.
That raises some serious questions about journalistic integrity and the potential for bias.
For sure.
Who's programming these algorithms and what are their motivations?
Those are valid concerns, and it's crucial to ensure that AI is used responsibly and ethically in journalism.
Yeah.
There needs to be human oversight to maintain standards of accuracy, fairness, and balance.
Right.
However, AI can also be a powerful tool
Okay.
for analyzing vast amounts of data, identifying trends,
Right.
and even generating initial drafts of news stories.
Right.
The key is using it to augment human journalists,
Yeah.
not replace them entirely.
It's a delicate balance, and it'll be interesting to see how they navigate those ethical considerations.
Yeah.
But AI isn't their only focus.
Right. They're also exploring data monetization.
Data monetization.
Think about it. They have a treasure trove of data from their various businesses.
I hadn't thought about that.
They're looking at how to leverage that data to offer personalized advice on things like financial products,
Okay.
loans,
Okay.
and insurance
Okay.
through platforms like Credible.
So in a way, they're trying to become a one-stop shop for both information and financial services?
In a sense, yes.
Interesting.
They're aiming to create a more integrated and personalized experience for consumers.
Okay.
And of course, let's not forget about the streaming wars.
The streaming wars.
Foxtel, their subscription video service in Australia,
Okay.
is a major player in that market.
And they're really doubling down on sports, which makes sense.
Yeah,
Live sports are still a huge draw.
for sure.
And in the fragmented world of streaming,
Yeah,
they offer a way to bring people together.
absolutely. Foxtel is generating substantial revenue from its long-term sports rights deals. They're even planning to create a national sports network in the US to compete with ESPN.
Wow.
And they're exploring ways to expand their direct-to-consumer streaming offerings,
Yeah.
potentially bundling news, sports, and entertainment content into attractive packages.
It sounds like they're aiming for global domination in the streaming world.
It sounds like it.
But with so many competitors like Netflix,
Yeah.
Disney, Amazon.
Right.
It's a tough battle to win.
It is.
What do you think will determine their success?
Well, content is king,
Okay.
but it's more than just that.
Right.
They need to cultivate a positive corporate culture,
Right.
attract and retain top talent, and address those lingering concerns about bias and ethical practices.
Right.
That's where the transition of leadership from Rupert to Lachlan Murdoch comes into play.
It's a pivotal moment for the company.
It is.
How Lachlan navigates the challenges of the digital age, fosters innovation,
Yeah.
and deals with those internal cultural issues will be crucial for their long-term success.
And let's not forget the Murdoch family dynamics.
Right.
They still exert significant control over the company. Those internal family relationships.
Yeah.
Especially with James Murdoch expressing different views from his father and brother
Yep.
about the company's direction,
Yeah.
add a whole other layer of complexity.
It's almost like a Shakespearean drama playing out on the world stage with a media empire at stake.
It certainly is a captivating story.
It is.
And how they manage those internal dynamics will likely have ripple effects throughout the organization.
So putting it all together,
Yeah.
what do you see as the biggest challenges and opportunities facing News Corp as they move forward?
Well, the rise of digital giants like Google and Facebook is a constant threat.
Right.
They're competing for attention, for advertising dollars, and for control over the flow of information.
Right.
Then there's the battle against misinformation,
Yeah.
which is eroding trust in traditional media.
Right.
And they need to find ways to maintain journalistic integrity in an increasingly polarized world.
Those are all significant hurdles to overcome, and their history of controversy doesn't make it any easier.
True, they'll be under intense scrutiny every step of the way.
Yeah.
But they've also shown an impressive ability to adapt and evolve.
Yeah.
Their success will depend on whether they can embrace new technologies,
Right.
build a culture of innovation,
Okay.
and prioritize audience engagement while upholding ethical standards.
It's a tall order, but they've been a dominant force in the media world for decades.
One thing's for sure, their story is far from over.
Yeah.
And the choices they make will have a significant impact on how we consume news and information in the future.
It really makes you think about the power these media companies have to shape our understanding of the world. It's almost like we're talking about two different companies.
Yeah.
On one hand, you have this innovative, business-savvy giant,
Right.
and on the other, a company mired in ethical controversies. How do you reconcile those two sides of News Corp?
I think that duality is precisely what makes them such a fascinating case study.
Okay.
They're a prime example of how a company can be both a driver of progress and a source of concern.
So what does all this mean for us,
Right.
the consumers of news and entertainment?
Yeah.
What should we keep in mind as News Corp continues to evolve?
I think it all boils down to being informed and discerning consumers.
Okay.
You need to understand the potential biases of different media outlets,
Right.
including those owned by News Corp.
It's easy to get caught up in a sensational headline or a story that plays on your emotions.
Exactly. You need to be careful not to take everything at face value.
Right.
Question your assumptions.
Yeah.
Consider the source. And be aware of how media can be used to shape opinions and push agendas.
It sounds like media literacy is more important now than ever,
I think so.
especially with News Corp venturing further into AI-powered news creation and data monetization.
Absolutely, those critical thinking skills will be crucial, as algorithms play a larger role in shaping the news we read and the information we consume.
It's a bit unsettling to think about algorithms making editorial decisions.
Yeah,
Where does human judgment fit into all of this?
that's a big question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
News Corp's use of AI raises serious ethical concerns about transparency,
Yeah.
accountability,
Right.
and the potential for bias to be embedded in the algorithms themselves.
It's like we're adding a whole new layer of complexity on top of the existing challenges of media bias and misinformation.
It's a lot to grapple with, and it's something we'll all need to be aware of
Yeah.
as artificial intelligence becomes increasingly integrated into our lives.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
It's clear that News Corp's story is far from over. They'll likely continue to adapt, innovate, and maybe even stir up a bit more controversy along the way.
I'm sure they will.
But their journey raises a crucial question for all of us.
Yeah.
What role do we want these powerful media companies to play in shaping our world?
That's a question worth pondering, and it goes beyond just News Corp.
Right.
It's about the future of media, the power of information, and our responsibility as consumers to engage critically with the content we consume.
It's been a fascinating deep dive into the world of News Corp.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this journey.
It's been a pleasure exploring this complex and influential company.
And until next time, stay curious. Keep asking questions and never stop diving deeper.